What kind of things do we do in our initial consultation? Let's just talk through some of what you're going to see. And mostly it's just an assessment of your current situation with potential recommendations, but there's a lot of value to just simply understanding where you are currently and what you currently have. And we can easily identify some potential next steps. So, as part of our initial consultation, we're going to apply our standard framework here. We start, of course, with protection, and we're going to look through your current position and see what you have in each of these components. You'll hear me say this a few times, but I'm not doing all this myself. I'm not an expert in everything, but I do have partners who are. So I'm not licensed to give tax advice or investment advice or do estate planning, but I have partners who will review any documents you send over. So the long and short of it is the more information you give us, the more we can help you and we can see what might make sense for you. And this will be comprehensive. So starting with protection, the bottom of the pyramid, which is of course the most important place to start. There's so many nuggets we can find here in your current situation and recommendations we can make. So starting with insurance, we would look, of course, at life insurance, and we're going to tell you what your human life value is. That is, how much insurability do you have? How much life insurance are you eligible for? And you'll understand how that's calculated and why it might be a good idea to secure all of it, but you'll at least know what's possible. We'll talk about the importance of convertible term, why you might want to take out a very specific form of term life insurance, because typically the first step is going to be just term if you don't have anything in force, or even if you do have something in force, and educate you on other various things like the fact that you can take out policies on your children. I've certainly had clients who didn't take out any life insurance until they found out they could take out policies on their children. And then that's exactly what we did. Then we'll look at your health insurance, whether you have group employer provided health insurance, whether you have it individually, whether you have nothing, or maybe some form of health sharing. Again, send us those documents. We're happy to review them and take a look at them. I should have mentioned, of course, same thing on the life insurance side. Send us whatever life insurance policies you currently have. We're happy to review them and help you understand what you have. Even with just term policies, sometimes there can be very important nuances. With health insurance, we've saved clients thousands of dollars by moving them from a standard conventional health insurance plan to crowd health. As an example, we've helped clients get fully subsidized exchange plans where you're paying $0 out of pocket, but you're getting a very nice health insurance plan, and you can qualify for subsidies depending on your income and assets and other things like that. Even if you already have employer provided health insurance, we can help you understand what you have better and make better use of it, and potentially even reduce your out-of-pocket costs by doing a strategic supplemental plan, which we've done that for clients before. All these are real examples where I've actually helped prospects and clients. And then we can also move you to a health share, which is a little different from crowd health, but not health insurance. And Brad Owens has multiple examples where he's saved people hundreds, if not thousands of dollars and gotten them better access to better quality care by switching them over from health insurance to health sharing. But of course, conventional health insurance is an option too. We're going to help you understand what you currently have, and we're going to help you understand what the options are, and then you can make a decision. And of course, also, you can, even if you don't change anything with regard to health insurance, you could potentially put us on as your agent. So you have someone you can really talk to. I have a health insurance agent, and I'm working with him right now to get some claims approved. And it's very nice not having to navigate the health insurance bureaucracy by myself. What a nightmare that would be. But instead, having someone who understands the health insurance labyrinth and is on the inside, that can really help me navigate. We can do that for you. We'll take a look at your home auto liability insurance. I have partners who are licensed for P&C insurance. We've saved people 50% on their home and auto insurance premiums by, as an example, switching over to Costco. Did you know you could get your home and auto insurance through Costco? You can. I had a client where we saved him thousands of dollars on his car insurance alone. My P&C agent was able to switch him over to another carrier and saved him a lot of money. We could talk about the importance of liability insurance, sometimes called umbrella insurance, which you may or may not need. but that could be an extra layer of protection that's very inexpensive. That sometimes is a gap with some people. Basically, the upshot is your insurance has limits. What happens if you cause damages or get sued for something above the $500,000 limit, as an example, by your insurance policy? That's where an umbrella or a liability policy could potentially help you. Then disability is another one. We can look at your group employer provided disability or show you what it might look like if potentially that's of interest to you. Again, we review your current disability policy. We've shown clients how they have a guaranteed purchase option on their existing disability policy. So you actually don't need to go and take out another policy if you want to increase your coverage. You can just exercise the guaranteed purchase option on your current disability policy. Also, by reviewing disability policies, we've made clients aware that there's an exclusion on this policy. This policy excludes, as an example, your back, because at the time you took out this policy, you had some issue with your back. Clients may not be aware of that. And you can get that exclusion removed on your current policy. We're not taking out a new policy necessarily, but getting that exclusion removed if your back is now healed so that you can be fully covered. These are a few examples of how we can help you to understand and make better use of what you already have before we even making recommendations for future optimizations, which are probably going to save you money overall once we finish the optimization, or at the very least, going to fully optimize your situation. Then we can look at your, other insurance policies you might have, like long-term care. We've helped clients to understand their current long-term care coverage. In one case, we helped the client understand that the amount advertised on a long-term care policy was a large amount, but the amount he would actually collect in monthly benefits was actually a lot smaller than he thought. Large advertised amount was the total pool of benefits he had available to him, but how much he could get on a monthly basis, depending on a number of things, was actually a lot less than he thought. Critical illness insurance could be another. We've helped clients where they had employer-provided critical illness that expired and their employer no longer offered it, so we were able to replace that with an individually owned one. But there's quite a few others, other sort of insurance, especially as business insurance right now. I'm helping a good client with some very special business insurance through a couple of partners. We had an attorney look at his business structure to figure out how we could better protect him, how we could better optimize, incorporate whatever. And then also looking at his insurance. He has a business that requires very special forms of insurance, and I have partners who can do that. Obviously, I don't do that myself. And then with estate planning, we can look through any documents you currently have, your wills, trust, medical power of attorney, financial power of attorney, guardianship, any documents you have for estate planning. We're happy to review those, help you to understand what you currently have. Is it a revocable living trust? Is it a testamentary trust? Is it an irrevocable trust? What are the pros and cons? How does it work? And help you with follow through. So what we try to emphasize with estate planning is, first of all, educating you on how estate planning works, because having a document is not the same as having proper estate planning. And then educating your successors and doing the follow through to make sure everything works together. So yes, you put that trust in place, but have you retitled your assets in the name of the trust? You have the financial power of attorney. Have you filed it with your financial institutions? Do your guardians, your successors, your medical financial power of attorney, do they know what they need to do? And we educate people on all of those things. So again, there's a tremendous amount of value here in just helping you understand what you currently have, doing a comprehensive review, and making recommendations, which of course, totally up to you, whether you want to follow those recommendations. And a lot of those recommendations won't necessarily be taking out another policy, but potentially optimizing and making better use of, and at least understanding what you already have, because there can be a lot of complexity there that oftentimes the prospect doesn't understand, nor would I expect you to understand. Even I don't have all the knowledge in my head. That's why I bring in partners. I'm not an expert in estate planning, but I have partners who are. I'm not an expert in property and casualty insurance, but I have partners who are, and on down the list. There's a tremendous amount of value here. You're not just pulling on my expertise, but the expertise of a whole team of partners that I've accumulated over the years to really help you understand what you have and how you could potentially optimize. And that's just with the protection side. There's even more here I could potentially list. I always encourage you to send me everything. We can talk through what you have, and you can fill out a financial questionnaire and then send me all the documents you want, and we will review them. You will not overwhelm us with documentation. Whatever you send us, we will review. So it's extremely valuable. And this is just protection, which is probably the most important component. Then we go to savings. So here we're talking about things like cash value life insurance. I've helped people understand their policies better. We helped one client understand some limitation of the PUA rider on his whole life insurance policy, that there was potentially limits in how much he could pay into it versus what was illustrated. There was potentially a risk that the policy might have some tax consequences. I've helped people who have various forms of life insurance. It's variable universal life insurance, indexed universal life insurance, universal life insurance. And once I helped those clients and just educated them on what they had and how it worked, they made the decision to exchange those universal life contracts for a whole life contract for a host of different reasons, which I didn't tell them to do that. I just educated them on what they currently have and how it works. And there have been multiple people who have done that, also helping them understand how the premium structure works, how the death benefit grows, all those things around your current cash value life insurance policy, should you have it. I can help you understand that. Any bank accounts or credit cards that you have, you might have substantial amounts of money in bank accounts or substantial amounts of money going through a bank account because you're direct depositing all of it into a bank account. Why not get some cash back rewards while you're doing that? Same thing with credit cards. You're putting potentially a lot of spending on these credit cards, assuming you're responsible and paying off the balance every month. Why not maximize the rewards you can get? There could be a substantial amount of optimization we can do there that could result in easily tens of thousands of dollars worth of value to you simply by choosing the right bank accounts based on your income and spending patterns. And same thing with credit cards based on your income and spending patterns. And what are you planning to do with them? Do you just want cash back, or would travel points, hotel points potentially be more valuable to you? That's really up to you. We'll take a look at your debt, right? We help people with the first lien HELOC solution. Obviously, I'm an ambassador for that program. We'll take a look at your mortgage situation, or if you're looking to buy a house, does it make sense to buy it with a first lien HELOC, or does it make sense to use a mortgage? What options do you have to you? We've certainly helped multiple people refinance their existing mortgages into first lien HELOCs and save tremendous amounts of money, and also have that strategic capital in their first lien HELOC. So some of them are actually real estate investors, so they can use that equity to make investments and cycle capital back through their first lien HELOC. And sometimes the first lien HELOC is not appropriate. We'll certainly tell you when that could be the case. But how can you optimize all this debt with maybe a velocity banking strategy? What makes the most sense? And partly it depends on you. What do you value? What are your goals? Is debt payoff a high priority for you? Or are you someone who's okay carrying non-toxic forms of debt? Student loan, car loans, mortgage, something like that. Are you someone who just wants to pay off debt, or you're someone who's not only open to having debt, but maybe open to strategically utilizing debt? So you're a real estate investor and you're using debt strategically all the time. Again, we can help optimize all that mix. How about taxes? Again, I'm not licensed to give tax advice. With all of these things, I have partners. Even with life insurance, I have partners who can give more insight into any underwriting. If you have some health issues, how are you going to be rated by the life insurance company? Which company is going to rate you more favorably? We can look at things like that. So with taxes, we've helped multiple clients. Again, I'm not the CPA. There's always a CPA who's actually doing the tax strategy. But one strategy we've had multiple clients do is they're business owners, and in their business, you can pay your child a salary up to $15,000 per year and deduct that from your taxes as a business expense. And because your child, in this case, is still a minor, you as the guardian can then be the custodian of those funds if the child is not yet responsible enough to handle $15,000. And you can take that $15,000 salary and then pay it into a whole life insurance policy on the child. So in one example, we had a client, had 2 children, and so they're going to deduct $30,000 from their taxes in the form of children's salaries. And they're going to use the whole life insurance policies that they're financing with that $30,000 as college savings for the children. I have another client who's doing the same thing, except he has 4 children. So he's going to be able to deduct $60,000 from his taxes as a business owner. Again, I'm not licensed to give tax advice. There are CPAs involved here that are actually doing the tax portion of the strategy, and I'm handling the life insurance portion. But this is just an example of the ways in which we can really help you understand what you have and potentially optimize it. And it's not just the recommendations. A lot of the value is just assessing your current situation and helping you to understand where you are presently and where the opportunities might be. And then when it comes to investments, I'm not securities licensed. I have partners who are. So we can take a look at your retirement accounts. What are you invested in? How much are you contributing? Why are you contributing that much? Are you getting an employer match? Are you using a SEP IRA if you're self-employed? Is it a 401k? If it's an employer, is it a Roth 401k? All those things, brokerage account, any sort of other investments you might have. We work with real estate investors a lot. I'm not an expert in real estate, but I have partners who do all kinds of different things in the real estate world, whether it be syndication, hard money loans, all those kind of things. Alternative investments, we have a lot of people who have their money in more alternative style investments. Again, we'll try to help you if we can. If we have a partner who has the expertise, we'll try to help you. Same thing on the business side, we'll try to help you any way that we can. If you have a business, maybe we can be referral partners. I can refer clients to you if it makes sense, and you can in turn refer clients to me, and that can be a very valuable business relationship. So again, this is comprehensive. We're looking at things that your average financial professional may not look at, and we're trying to get you immediate, concrete results. I want you to come out of this consultation with a lot of value. So you have things that you can do today that are going to save you money today, that are going to optimize your situation today. And over time as well, it's not going to be, hey, give up some of your money to me, I'll invest it for you. And maybe hypothetically 5 years down the road, we'll see how it worked. And hopefully if the market went well, then your investments did well. And oh, by the way, it's the market doing all the work, not me. I was just standing. So no, I'm not securities licensed out to do investments, but the purpose of this consultation is to really help you understand what you have and where the opportunities are. And you might be surprised how large those opportunities can be, maybe sitting right under your nose. And then lastly, I'll just say speculating. If you have some of those more speculative assets, happy to take a look. I don't know if we can help or not, but maybe we have a partner to do. Always worth a conversation. So we hope to add a tremendous amount of value to you in the initial consultation. We've saved clients thousands of dollars just by looking at what they currently have and pointed out some very big opportunities in their policies and other financial assets that they have already in force. We're not even talking about taking out any new ones. So I hope this was helpful for you. I look forward to helping you optimize your current financial situation. We'll talk soon.